Now let's go on to our next very exciting session of the day, which is on next gen thinking, strategies for the next normal. So let me first of all introduce our moderator of the session, which is Mr. Jimmy Mistry, Chairman and Managing Director, Della Group. With 23 years of experience in research, design, manufacturing, supply, and execution, Jimmy Mistry is pioneering concepts that have brought about disruption in each of the verticals. He's a designer, he's a hotelier, he's also a businessman, he's also a hospitality genius. He has created unique holiday destinations such as Della Resorts and luxury second homes, Della Villas. Mr. Jimmy Mistry, a very warm welcome to you. I now introduce our speakers of the session in an alphabetical order. We have with us Mr. Binay Agrawal, business leader, TempRite South Asia Lubrizol Corporation. Binay Agrawal has led teams and executed large-scale investments and business model changes for double-digit growth at companies. He has strong techno-commercial background with industry experience in chemicals and building materials. Our next very eminent panel member is Mr. Saurabh Bansal, Joint Managing Director, Dorset Group. Saurabh Bansal heads the strategic marketing and chairs the marketing initiatives of the group. Under his leadership, Dorset has rapidly expanded its market presence across various verticals and in different countries. Our next panel member, I introduce Mr. Saurabh Bansal, co-founder and managing director, Magicrete. Saurabh Bansal is an industrial engineer from IIT Kharagpur, and having found Magicrete at the age of 24, Saurabh has led it to become a leading company and a recognized brand in the building materials and construction technology space. Our next panel member is Mr. Srinivas Shanbhugue, Vice President, Retail Business, Schneider Electric India. Srinivas Shanbhugue is a business leader with over 20 years of experience in B2B and B2C markets. Srinivas has donned various hats in sales, strategy, marketing, and distribution, and in his current role, he heads the retail business for Schneider Electric India. Our next eminent panel member is Ms. Sudeshna Mukhopadhyay, Vice President, Havells India Limited. With 34 years of extensive global leadership experience in lighting technology and end-user research, both in India and APAC, she teaches lighting applications at leading institutes in India and is author of Code Standards chapters in Bureau of India Standards, National Lighting Code, ISHRE, GRIHA, IGBC, and CII Energy Council. So this is our power-packed panel for the topic of next-gen thinking strategies for the next normal. I hand it over to Mr. Jimmy Mistry to take forward the conversation. Mr. Jimmy Mistry, all yours. You are on mute. Mr. Mistry, you are on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Wonderful good evening to all of you, and next gen thinking, it's a great panel. Strategies for the next normal. Two things I don't understand. Strategy, I don't understand any longer, and normal, I don't understand any longer. So the first part of COVID was difficult for all of us, and we all thought we were champions at strategy, and we roll out this strategy, we roll out that strategy, and each one of us did roll out, not knowing whether it worked or didn't work. Only in hindsight, now we can think whether it worked or didn't work. Our next normal, we thought it was normal, and we were not going to have the phase 2. We had phase 2, and now we are hoping and praying that the phase 3 doesn't come, but I'm being told by sources across wherever I speak, phase 3 is imminent, and it is around the corner. Hence, strategic disruptive thinking becomes almost an impediment, if an inability to be able to do it is there. So let me begin with Binay. Binay, it's great what you guys are doing at Lubrizol. I've been reading about you, and even today I read back again. So what is Lubrizol doing as a giant within the chemical space? Because people are more particular about sustainability. People are more ecologically conscious now in terms of your products. What are the kind of strategies you are having up your sleeves to be able to unleash across so that the sales keep moving?
Thank you, Mr. Mistry, and thank you for this opportunity. As always, you are being so charming and starting with such a nice context. I agree with you 100% that consumers are being more conscious about sustainability, impact of products and manufacturing processes on the environment. And the way Lubrizol sees it, there are two dimensions to it. One is what we call it as footprint, and second, what we call it as handprint. So when we say footprint, what we mean by that is our manufacturing processes, the raw material that we use. How do we ensure that the carbon footprint is lowered, on a sustainable way, and also the products that we make. How can we ensure they are more sustainable? So recently, for example, we are doing life cycle analysis of all our products, and our FlowGuard Plus CPVC piping, we received a GRIHA certification, and it was certified as a green product, the only plumbing product to get that in the country. So we are very proud of that. So that's one dimension around footprint. The second dimension around handprint is how do we improve lives of people in the world, right? And this was again a point of discussion in the earlier panel. So we don't see ourselves as a piping company. We have changed, and the way we see ourselves is how we are enabling clean water supply to millions of citizens around the world. Because through our pipe, you can get clean water, as it doesn't lead to antibacterial growth. And our vision has now changed from how do we then look at water as a broader theme. Because being a chemical company and a polymer company, as you said, we can play a bigger role in other parts of the water value chain and ensuring clean water supply, especially in countries like India, where we have been present for so long. And the other aspect that we believe strongly is the pace of change is going to be quite fast than what it was, let's say, earlier. So something that took, let's say, 10 years to change, it might change in 10 days. I mean, that's what we have seen. So how do we continue to innovate without being too late in the process? And that will help us being ahead of the curve.
Sure.
Thank you.
Binay, getting a TempRite certification across for the first plumbing product is applaudable, and I think the company owes a round of applause from everybody. I wish the rest of the companies follow suit. And there's a lot of leapfrogging and catching up to do with plumbing products, and especially plumbing products at the back end, not in the front end. There is a lot of catching up to do for organizations, and I'm sure your company can lead from the front. Let's move over to Saurabh Bansal. We've got two Saurabh Bansals today over here, and Saurabh Dorset and Saurabh Magicrete. Both create magic in their own independent businesses. Let me begin with Saurabh Bansal. Saurabh, it's a good day for you today.
It's a perfect day. First of all, thank you so much for today, and congratulations on founding the spectacular DLC club.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you. And lovely. Saurabh, in terms of Dorset, supply chain has been disrupted across industries, and I'm sure you're also going through the same pain. In terms of strategies post the second round of COVID, what do you think is going to be impacting Dorset, or what do you think are the strategies you would like to share with people that you're deploying that our listeners can learn from?
See, Jimmy, very well framed. What I would like to say here, first of all, at Dorset, we are completely made in India for India. So we are not dependent on any third world country or any other country in terms of imports. So whatever we sell is whatever we manufacture here. So we have no dependency on any Southeast Asian countries. So when we are not dependent on Southeast Asian countries, that means we are dependent on various vendors who are available within our country. So for that, what we had done at Dorset, we had created a small industrial units within our industrial zone, wherein 3 years back, we had got most of our vendors to set up their small ancillary units nearby to our main manufacturing mother plant in a vicinity of, let's say, 5 kilometers. So after the first pandemic, we learned that we will try to retain most of the labors within our zone. So we kind of did each and everything to make most of the workforce very comfortable with, and they were all retained in this COVID spike. After that, we in the first wave also was not that much hit. The reason being our raw material component inventory at any given point of time is for 90 days within our plant. Wow. So as soon as we resume, we could sustain ourselves for next 60 to 70 days very smoothly. Until then, our raw material component suppliers came into place and they could resume their operations. And finally, we could hit on the market. So our major supplies were going to major real estate projects over there and to our large distribution network, where we have 12,000 hardware shops selling our product across the country. Our distributors could manage the show pretty well. I would not say 100%, but we were about 90 to 95% efficient. During the second COVID spike, as we could sense it from the month of February, so again, we regionally distributed our products from our mother finished good warehouse to all the regional. Say no to any consumer, and we could. Hello.
Yeah, go on, Sourabh.
So we could immediately ship it to our distributors and in turn to the end consumer. So that has been one of the key. And to be very honest, organized companies like Safe Express, Rivigo, Delivery, these companies have helped us a lot in terms of actually taking the truckloads from one end to another end in our country, and they were all fully operational. Of course, we had to pay premium at few places, but at least our end consumer could not suffer in terms of not getting the products on time. And I feel during the last year, during pandemic, Dorset in this space, we have grown at about 16% despite of COVID. And one of the key reasons was our manufacturing ability and product availability. So that was the two areas where we focused. Our manpower did not rush back to villages. There were a lot of incentive schemes for our local workforce. There was a lot of sustainability criteria which we had created there. A lot of healthcare support which we had given, apart from housing support and other well-being supports. And as a package altogether, we did pretty well after the first wave. And during this second wave also, we've tried to cope up with. Of course, we had many loss of lives in terms of on our dealers and distributors and in real estate industry and our workforce. But of course, keeping that on side, we've been able to manage it pretty well.
Thank you, Sourabh, for briefing us on the current conditions and the scenarios. Let's move on to the other Sourabh Bansal, Magicrete. Sourabh, it's a pleasure to meet you. And even though we've not interacted before, I read through your profile and pretty impressive at the age of 24 starting Magicrete. Also managing the brand so far through both these pandemics. Would you like to elaborate to our listeners what are the tricks of the trade up your sleeves that you managed to put on this show quite well?
Thanks, Jimmy, for the kind words. To answer your question, so we have moved post-COVID. We have taken two broad strategies at Magicrete. The first strategy has been the launch of a Magicrete Connect app, wherein we are partnering with our distributors. We are trying to onboard them, engage with them, and this is helping us to scale faster and scale up the 20 plus products that we have launched recently. The other key strategy that we have launched at Magicrete is the launch of Magic Light wall panels. So this product is already turning heads of some of the largest developers in the real estate in India. So these are two key broad strategies that we have launched post-COVID that is helping us sail through these times.
Super. So it's a new generation of a drywall partitioning system?
Yeah, exactly.
Technically, how different it is from the usual gypsum ones?
Well, so these are, in case of gypsum boards, you have to have steel studs in between, and then you put on the cement sheets or drywalls on top of them. So thermal insulation wise, fire rating wise, these are far superior products. These are an upgrade version of AAC blocks that is prevalent in the industry today, and which is ubiquitous today. So it's a single component material. It is steel reinforced and much more durable. So that's the beauty of this product.
I'm sure developers are going to find it very interesting, and so are architects and designers. Good luck to you with your new product range. We'll discuss more about it. Let's move on to Srinivas. Srinivas, good evening and welcome to our talk today. Srinivas is the Vice President for Schneider. And Srinivas, would love to hear from you about home automation. Home automation is the new buzzword. Everybody is looking forward to a lot of disruption being caused within the world of automation, and organizations almost all across are either acquiring companies which are into automation or investing in R&D and moving towards it. Post lockdown, post work from home automation products are definitely on the rise, and some industry pundits say that it's going to be raising by about anything from 500 to 1,000%. What are your views on it, and what is Schneider doing about it?
Hey, Jimmy, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to everyone and all the other panelists. Thanks for having me here. Pleasure to be with this esteemed panel. I think, and also congratulations to Realty to put up this show, a pretty great show. I've been in the morning, on and off, a couple of sessions, quite interesting sessions. Well, you've taken up a very interesting topic about smart homes in India. I think, yeah, smart homes in India has been there for quite a long time, but I think, the real necessity has come today. I think post-COVID, things have completely changed in our life. There are two things which are taking the center stage. One is home, and the second one is the health. Okay. So we at Schneider Electric, our mission has been pretty clear in terms of making life is on for everyone. So for us, we ensure life is on through our breakthrough technologies and innovations. And we've been working on this for quite long. And for us, it was nothing was a surprise. And I think we took it as an opportunity, as a responsibility for us to make sure life does not change for people around. So smart home was an interesting topic because if you see in the last year and a half, a lot of us are at home. Things have changed drastically. The homes have become schools. The homes have become playgrounds. The homes have become offices, boardrooms, and whatnot. I think but the biggest challenge what has happened is it was never the case before. So it required a lot of kind of a resetting inside home. And most of us, it was a big challenge for us to accommodate these new changes and new normal. That's where Schneider Electric, I think, played a very interesting role. We were quick to work on in terms of technology, which can based on IoT and which can help people to create a lot of convenience at home without disturbing your existing aesthetics, without having any new wirings. It's a very, very interesting technology. We could get through it within 3-4 months on to hit the market. And I think I'm very, very happy. And our smart home story, which is a Wiser Solutions, was designed just in 4 months. And we've been able to get about close to about 10,000 homes in just about 1 year. I think that is what the need was. And I think it went very well for us. And most importantly, it did very well for the consumers and the customers. 3 things which changed for customers. One, I think they did not need to technology. The IoT technology helped them not to disturb the existing setup. Everything was able to do it with the ease. You could upgrade your smart home just in about 4 hours, flat 4 hours, okay, without disturbing your existing wiring, the existing infrastructure. Second, I think it built a lot of ecosystem inside the homes. One, in terms of you had about 2 or 3 interfaces, technology interfaces. First was on everything you could control over your app, which is on your phone. And the second thing was, I think, very interesting. It was a contactless story. We had its own things. Today, everything what you operate in a house is connected through a switch. So switch is something which is operated by multiple people at home. You have the maids, you have the servants, you have different people who are coming in and doing things. And that is where we wanted to build something which was contactless. And that is where we succeeded. And a lot of customer appreciated that it was a contactless story, and we could bring it to the market very soon. And third, very, very interesting topic was convenience. I think it was a very, very lot of convenience to consumers in terms of operating various things, scheduling your activities, programming your activities. So I think, home in all was very, very really a center of the stage, and we could really help people to make it smart in terms of convenience, in terms of comfort and everything. So this is on the home front. I think we worked a very lot. And second, on the health side, I think we were the ones. Again, it was the first of its kind global technology which we developed, which is on silver ions and the first antiviral product. I think yes, there are a lot of products. A lot of consumers come and ask me, is it really antiviral or is it really happening? Because every second product is coming up with a kind of a badge on the table saying that it is antiviral, antibacterial. But this was a very interesting, again, innovation which we did. Most of the switches, we designed a product and a raw material which is a self-disinfecting raw material, which is first time in the world. And I think it has already hit the market, and we are focusing around highly infected places like hospitals and common areas and all these places for people to go and replace these switches with these antiviral products. So these are the two things which we have been, as a responsible organization, we wanted to contribute. One, homes, which is not our forte actually. If you ask me, we are a large infrastructure and a B2B player, but homes have been something very, very close to us in of late, and we wanted to do, and we took it as an opportunity and a responsibility to change things here. So yes, we have been able to do a couple of bits to change the society and support the society.
Super. So you're in both the areas which are super interesting in terms of growth potential. One is health and one is homes automation. Health and home automation kind of both growth stories together would be requiring tremendous amount of strategy deployment at your level. Anyway, we will come back to it in the second round of questioning. Let's move on to Sudeshna. Sudeshna, again, since you are the vice president of Havells, and I know Havells has entered home automation and it's been there. Sudeshna, would you like to elaborate on how well your products are integrating lighting, dimmer controls, automation, air conditioning, drapes, and audio video all confluence onto one platform?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jimmy, and thank you very much for having me in this panel. It's a great honor for me as well. Let me talk about the lighting perspective. I mean, lighting is such a subject that it impacts us and our well-being. It's just not about, able to see, but it's something which controls our biorhythms, our circadian rhythms, the the sleep-wake cycle. And in this time, I think the real appreciation of lighting as a trigger for well-being, because we were not able to go out, and ability to for the light to impact our well-being, I think was more appreciated. I think we took this as an opportunity, as an organization, as an industry, to really, really talk about and accept that fact that light impacts our well-being. So when we talk about smart lighting, it's just not about energy saving. The solutions which we are talking about, whether it is in B2B space or in your home space, is integrating or accelerating lighting as an impact for your well-being. So human-centric lighting is something which is being now talked about, and in Havells, all our products, human centricity happens in a few ways, but we are talking about human centricity in the impact of our real well-being, so ability to tune light, sync light as the day changes, in terms of color temperature, in terms of intensity, because human beings all around the world wake up in the morning as the sun rises and you sleep at night, right? It does not change. And specifically when you're indoor and you're working in artificial lighting conditions, this is a very necessary thing. So we do have from Havells various platforms, wired platforms, wireless platforms, different protocols, it could be an RF triggered, it could be power over Ethernet, depending on the customer. So the basket of solutions is very, very large, from wired solutions to wireless solutions. But all centered around, light, well-being, and, and health. So it is to do with color tuning, it is to do with intensity changing, it is to use light beyond lighting. That means use it as a communication device. You are integrating sensors with light, which can do thermal mapping, which can give you real-time energy consumption in your office or in your homes itself. So these are the things which are there from the product basket or solutions from Havells, both in the home sector, in the consumer space, as well as in the commercial spaces as well, and street light as well. So, you have projects in Faridabad where the light color you can tune depending on the weather. So, you have very harsh winters in the north and you have harsh summers. So the light color and intensity can also sync with the weather, to give you that feeling of well-being. So well-being and human centricity are basically at the center of all product innovation from Havells.
Super. I wish every organization was as human-centric, design motivated, and it should be intrinsic to the DNA of any organization.
Absolutely.
In their products to be human-centrically designed, and using IoT and using tunable lights is the order of the day. Also, mental health conditions can be impacted by lighting conditions. People
Absolutely.
don't step out for long periods of time, especially the elderly do not. And each of these things can be controlled by human-centric lighting.
Absolutely.
And organizations like yours are doing a great job. In the next round of questioning, I would like to, I always love my webinars to be some takeaway for the listeners. So it doesn't become a digital noise and there is a consumption. Let me begin with all of you. Let me begin with Binay. A very quick round to Binay. Just give our viewers and listeners something within Lubrizol products technically that they should look out for, something for them to learn and adopt. And the same question will go to all of you. Let's educate our listeners on one new product they didn't know existed and which your organization is working towards. Also talk about futuristic products that you're planning to come up with pretty soon, post both these this pandemic scenario and things opening up. How soon would you be launching? So let's hear it from you, Binay.
Thank you, Jimmy. I think it was a great first 30 minutes of this panel discussion. So I think the idea that I want to start with is, convenience and consumer centricity, which Srinivas and Sudeshna talked about. How do you ensure the customer, what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, is being met by you rather than your competition. And so we are working in that area. There are a couple of products that we launched recently. I want to talk about our Corzan CPVC piping. Primarily, it is for industrial customers, but we see a lot of usage of that in certain building applications as well. And in future, you will see more launches from Lubrizol side as we try to solve the water problem in India. So not only piping, you will see more products which will enable clean water supply in India. So we will share some product launches as we go along.
Water is one of the UN SDGs across, and water remains as one of the prime criteria of concern globally.
Yes.
In India, people very often kind of ignore that problem, but the magnanimity and the magnitude of the problem is so huge that the developed countries of the world are working actively towards it. And whatever little your organization contributes is worth applauding. Let's move on to Sourabh. Sourabh, Dorset. So Saurabh, tell us about exciting products that you people have been working on, which you're planning to roll out pretty soon.
So something very exciting I would like to share is that some challenges, again, as like Binay said about convenience we were facing. So we identified that A, there was absence of safe touch products, and B was touch-free products, and C was digital products. So we overnight worked in all these three areas. So at the side of safe touch products, our R&D had already developed safe touch technology, antimicrobial technology, coating on all our products, which we had been supplying to the healthcare sector in the past. For example, Kokila Bahan or Medanta, they had already installed. So same we horizontally deployed after the first wave on all our products. And with proud, I can say that most of the Dorset products available in the market now are all antimicrobial coating, and all are in the DNA of the product, which when they are manufactured, they come out with an antimicrobial coating itself. Two, we identified a technology which is called as NOS, which means a new opening system. So this was an innovative product which is basically a touch-free handle design, and is designed in such a way that it is used by your elbow to open the door and the door latch without compromising on any aesthetics. So you don't have to touch it with your hands or something like that. And three, lastly, our year of very heavy investments came into place as our complete catalog was developed and the product was developed for the new digital locks. So we have a complete range of digital locks and locking solutions for customer convenience of going keyless or giving them access from a remote location through the IoT technology. These locks have been successfully installed in many condominiums across the country, and we have done close to 2 lakh installation already and are successfully running in the country already. Another important venture we just entered into recently is our joint venture in the space of furniture and kitchen fitting space. So we entered into a joint venture with the top 3 manufacturers from Europe by the name of Summit to offer a wide range of exciting solutions in the kitchen and the furniture segment. This we have done recently.
Lovely. So there's a lot to look forward to. Intrinsic antimicrobial properties into every product you get to see each day. One just wants to question the efficacy of them, and in the absence of detailed certifications, which used to take time, and even today they do take time. It's for time to prove how effective these products are. But I'm sure you have done your deep dive into it, and the products are going to maintain their efficacy.
Absolutely. That's why we claim they are antimicrobial, and we don't claim that they are anti-COVID.
There's a big difference between being antimicrobial and anti-COVID. In fact, even Sourabh spoke about it, and let's move on to Sourabh. So Sourabh, in Magicrete kitty of new products, what are the things for people to look out for, and what is it that you're most excited with in your go-to-market strategy?
Well, Jimmy, when we were founded in 2008, we started with the mission of helping people build their homes better, faster, and cheaper by using construction technologies. So we all know how construction sector has lagged in productivity terms. So lack of automation, and one of the most important reason is that most of the work happens on site. Right. So we believe when the construction moves off site, that's when the productivity can increase. So we believe in the future of modular construction, and that's where all our products have been in that direction. So when we started, we launched AAC blocks. So these blocks were 10 times the size of a clay brick and have already transformed the entire walling industry across the country. So today, as we speak, we have recently launched, as I talked about, the Magicrete wall panel. So these are 15 times the size of even our AAC blocks, almost 150 times the size of a brick. So construction can happen 16 times faster. But the most exciting thing from our end is, Magic Pod modular building modules that we have also launched. So these are, traditionally precast construction has been about constructing wall elements in the factory and joining them on the site. Whereas our technology Magic Pod, this is about building the home on the ground itself inside the factory. So the entire floor, walls, and the roof is cast on the site, inside a factory in a quality controlled environment. You finish the elements on the ground, and then you assemble them on the site, one on top of the other, like how Lego modules are put on top of the other. So, so these are the most interesting developments from our end. In fact, I'll also highlight that as we speak, we are building a 1,000 home project in Ranchi. This is as a part of Ministry of Housing awarded project to us. So Ministry of Housing conducted a year and a half ago, they conducted a global housing technology challenge. So we were one of the winners of those challenges, and we have to demonstrate our technology in a 1,000 home project using our technology.
So this is under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana.
Yes. This is to hasten the speed of these projects.
Right. Any developments in the polyurethane construction technologies?
Sorry, I wouldn't be able to comment on those.
Okay. That's one technology that I've been intrigued with since the time I saw it in Austria for the last couple of years. The world has progressed into polyurethane construction, and somehow in India we've not been successful. But I believe it has far-reaching implications, especially for the economically weaker section. If we can manage to use it, you get thermal insulation, you get acoustical insulation. It's instant, it's quick, and it's water resistant. So I think that kind of a technology, and it's cheap. That kind of a technology can really put mass EWS housing into a different wind speed, and we can leapfrog ahead. But let's see.
I guess what you're referring to is basically making the structure lighter using EPS. So we are trying our approach of making concrete itself lighter. So we are trying to approach densities closer to PU. And as we all know, concrete is one of the cheapest available material. So that can really make houses affordable for our nation.
I get it. More power to you, and let's hope you're able to crack it and move ahead. Srinivas, when we get to Schneider, I know you spoke about products, and you spoke about both the ranges of products across. And coming back again to the efficacy area, because most of these products do not go through the stringent certification norms that they were prevalent pre-COVID. Now nobody cares. People don't want to wait for the lab testing. There are dime a dozen products across in the market. And my worry is it's a naive market. It's a market where people are scared and people end up consuming the products. So how does Schneider lead from the front by talking about certifications and the efficacies?
Sorry. For us, the benchmark is very high, and anything, whether it is designed in India or Europe or US, any part of the world, we pass through a very, very stringent process, because we basically make the delivery for the global audience and the global customers. So I think most of the products pass through at least 5-6 gates, which are certified for different standards and different markets, different geographies, different climate conditions. So I think for us it is given that we follow all these protocols and make sure when we deliver something to the customers, they are foolproof, tested, and I think we deliver the best in simple terms. So since you asked about the products to consumers, I think I would urge all the people on the panel as well as everyone, one thing we should test out or try out is to make your home smart. I think it's no more a mystery anymore. I think people have been having different meanings for smart homes. It's quite simple now. If you want to make your home secure, bring more convenience to your home, and bring more efficiency, I think you should try out Wiser smart home solutions, which are very simple for new homes, existing homes. I think in just flat 4 hours, we can make your home smart home. It can, there are a lot of things which it can do, but I think in a very, very simple layman's language, if I have to tell you, it will help you to bring convenience, because you can do a lot of scheduling, everything on your fingertips. You can, now you want to take the, early morning thing on a shower, you can set your programs for your geyser, you can do your coffee machines, you can open your shutters, anything which can be in a schedule so that it brings convenience to you. And second part, in terms of bringing in efficiency, is today I think we all being at home, the energy consumption is really going up, and this is where we have a very, very interesting solution in Wiser, which gives you a very clear indication of what are the appliances are on use, what are the things which are going on. It gives you a very real-time indication of your energy consumption, and it can help you. I think the summer would really take away your heat off from your pocket. So this is another interesting thing which Wiser can bring you. Third, in terms of security, I think we have launched a new Sky Bell, where now it can just replace your normal bell or doorbell, and you have everything on your phone. Anybody who comes and presses your Sky Bell, you can talk to him, see who is the person, and open the door from your phone. Thanks to people like Dorset, who can bring in technology on the door locks. I think a very interesting thing, and I think it's a very, very magical solution which we have been able to bring in. No fancy stuff. just keep it simple, your day-to-day utilities, day-to-day things. Now, otherwise, a lot of people think that smart home is something which is jazzy and a lot of things. Now, and last but the least, in India or anywhere for that matter, innovation has been never affordable. Now, innovation was only for a niche class of customers, and we talk about innovation. And I was personally part of this project, and I wanted to make innovation affordable. And I think this smart home is less than an iPhone, probably even if it's the 3-bedroom hall kitchen, and you can opt for it. I think it's a very, very interesting thing. And most interesting part of Wiser is its go-to-market approach. It's 100% digital. You don't need to call anyone to your home. You can just get into our e-shop and select based on your number of rooms in your home. It is a scalable solution. You can use it for one room. After 3 months, you can do it for your whole house, whatever the way you want. Very, very simple and scalable solution. Digitally, you can go and type which bedroom, how many bedrooms you have and kitchen you have in your house, and it will automatically give you a auto configured solution, and somebody will come and fit it and forget it for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to look for anything. Just 3-4 clicks, we can make your home smart. Very, very interesting digital go-to-market, which we have been able to looking at the current situation. And lastly, one interesting thing we had a big problem was everybody wanted to know what is smart home and get a feel of it before they buy. In India, we don't spend money without really knowing what it is. So we got a very, very interesting solution, try before you buy. So we put in about close to 1,000 homes, 10-day free installation, and the 11th day you have a choice whether you want to buy it or leave it. So this is what I urge everyone to go for Wiser Smart Home, and I think it's a good opportunity to bring home convenience, security, and efficiency and happiness.
Wow, that's a kind of a digital disruption in marketing I'm looking at to learn. 10-day free trial for a home automation product, and you take it back again. What has been the success ratio so far out of 1,000 homes tried? How many homes have given it back? How many have consumed the product?
It's just been a week on this because we did it just last 10 days, and out of 1,000 we have installed in about close to 600 places, and some markets are still yet to open. But most of the people have been very, very open, and they said very nice, and the feedback is.
In terms of technology, would you like to elaborate? Is it on RF, IR? Is it a Modbus? Or is it a KNS? I mean, it's a proprietary system. It's an open source code system.
It's open. See, like today, the most prevalent simple technology which everybody would want to go is on a Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi technology. But in India, the penetration is still there, but the quality of Wi-Fi and internet is pretty poor. So that's the reason we have a dual technology of Z-Wave and Z-Wave mesh technology, which works on Wi-Fi and acts as a repeater, so that you don't need a very high quality internet and Wi-Fi. So pretty simple technology, open, and you can also integrate about other couple of third-party devices in this. So it's not a proprietary thing. We don't believe in proprietary. We want to enable customers to do more things out of what we sell to them.
I love what I'm listening to, because I am a person who proposes democratic designs and always to meet democratic design price points with aspirational luxury products. So that's the kind of thing that sounds like music to my ears. Lovely, pleasure speaking. And Sudeshna, would you like to take us through? We spoke about in the earlier session. We spoke about programmable lighting, tunable lighting, which has become the order of the day. I love it when even in small huts, when you're passing on the road, suddenly you see a magenta light there, and you know that he's just kind of done a retrofit bulb, and it feels so nice to see. I really get happy when I look at it. I really get happy. In a multi-million-dollar mansion, when you see all this happening, it's okay. But it really gives me happiness when the common man out there and the poor man out there can use these products, tunable lighting, and take advantage of it. And hence also the penetration across the country in a country our size increases, which is mammoth. I don't think any market in the world will be able to offer it. So in all my trips and travel to China, I used to see people utilize these products. The minute a product innovation happens, it would penetrate to the poor of the country much more faster than the rich. In our case, we would not see this happening. Post-COVID, you've seen this transformation happen. And how does Havells come up with products which are meant for the economically weaker section?
Yeah, so you have the entire, if you take Havells, it's got 17 businesses. So obviously, if you take all your product portfolio, you tire it for different strata, right? There are market entry products, which is acceptable to everyone. And then you have the high end, the architectural solutions, and the high end product itself. So it is an intention to have product offerings across the strata, and in across all these strata, the basic things are not diluted, which I'm saying that, if you're talking about human centricity, if you're talking about wellness, the value or the cost engineering probably would come through materials and the design. That's where you build up the segments. But the basic part is where we talk about human centricity or you talk about wellness is not compromised, whether you are giving a product for the masses or you're giving a product for the riches. Let me put it that way. So yes, solutions are there, and the good part of Havells is the major innovation is here in-house. You have development center at Noida and at Bangalore. So whether it is hardware engineering, whether it is the IoT-based engineering, they work around the value propositions of Indian consumers. The construction, the methods which you have in your buildings, the existing building. Srinivas was talking about Wi-Fi. We have brick walls, right? And Wi-Fi attenuates it. The way Wi-Fi based solutions penetrate in Europe, it is different out over here. So we do have solutions which are probably sub gigahertz, but much more long distance, and they are much more acceptable solutions in Indian solutions. So yes, one, bringing in value engineering across different product strata. I wouldn't be able to really, cull out a product and say, okay, this is for this segment. So the basic ethos and principles remain the same. We position it at the different end of the market. So whether it's a 300 rupee color changing bulb or 1,000 rupee, probably the interfaces are different. You have, more fancy looking frills built around it, but the basic things remain the same. And the entire engineering, there is one very interesting product which Havells does, and it's very important for B2B space, is to have a single platform solution. You see, now that we are going into IoT and and wireless technologies, every manufacturer works on different platforms. So you end up, even if you buy from the same manufacturer, they might have different solutions for an office, for your parking lot, for your production area. So Havells, because they do everything themselves, they have a common platform. So if you are in a large, let's say you're building a hotel, a resort where you have parking lots, where you have street lighting, where you have utility areas and room lighting, everything can be integrated together, and that solution can seamlessly interface with your building management system. So that is basically the principle of the design which we adopt to make it absolutely seamless and have a single interface experience for the customer.
Super. Sudeshna and Srinivas, let me tell you both my personal experience as a designer for the last years and years, and I've been at the forefront of automation implementation. I think when we moved to our new design headquarters in 2004, we had LED lighting in our office. That was 2004 when people didn't even know about LED lighting. We had every automation done by Crestron engineers that we had flown in, especially from Israel. And so we've always been on the forefront of actually implementing automation. I still feel there's a great need for a single platform product between lighting, audio, video, air conditioning, and blinds. These four things, apart from call bell and other ancillary paraphernalia wherever we are talking about. But these four things coming on one platform. Tunable drivers do not speak the same language. They are on RF. You have IR blasters that they cannot handle. The RF tunable drivers. So there are challenges on ground zero across.
Absolutely.
And it would be great for a company to come out with a single product that actually addresses all the needs, because that's when automation can be really put to use by even middle class houses. How can we democratize the price of automation and give all of them on one single platform, everything put together? So you can have an IR blaster at 1,500 bucks. It'll do the same trick and pull every resource, including your air conditioning and audio video into it, along with lighting control. And of course, you can add security to it with PIR motion sensors and stuff like that. But that's still, I am yet to come across a single product.
I missed Jimmy. Sorry to miss that point. I thought I don't want it to be elaborate. We can do all the entertainment stuff on the same with the IR Blaster. We have IR Blaster, be it a Boss system, be it any other security camera, be it any air condition which is on IR, we can integrate it. So you look for Visor. It is a platform which integrates almost 80-90% of all the devices in the market.
Lovely. Sounds like music to my ears. Anyway, pleasure speaking to all of you today. And I think it's time to take some questions. If our people at the back end have got some questions for our panelists, we would like to take them and give replies.
Yes, Jimmy, one question that we have got is that they want to know, Jimmy Mistry is known as a disruptor. So what's new from Della Group? We are going to see. What are you busy?
There's a lot happening at our end. Right from the first lockdown, we actually landed up innovating a whole new business that we had never thought or aspired to be in. We just launched Della Leaders Club globally from New York, London, Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, Bangkok, and 9 cities in India. More than 2,000 people have joined this entire movement and signed up with us. So that's something that we've done. We didn't realize that we are going to disrupt the world. We landed up creating the world's first business platform. So there are platforms and platforms for designers, for automation, for lighting industry specialists, for vegetables, sabji mandi. There's a platform for everything in life. When it comes to entrepreneurs and professionals, there are no platforms. We landed up innovating the world's first business platform. So that's the latest one. We just launched it on 12th of June. We are busy finishing off Della by JM, which is a 50,000 square feet, large format interior product, pin to piano product supply company. So we are just managing to kind of give the finishing touches and get our products rolled out. It's going to be interesting to see how the 2,500 products that we've been designing and working with people like Saurabh and Dorset we work with and understand that he will have an understanding of what we are trying to do. But that's second. Third is we are creating a Della Creative Lifestyle Weekend product in our hospitality company where the entire creative community of the country can converge once every month. There is no place in India like you have in Milan, 10 Como, something like that on those guidelines where artists, musicians, chefs, anybody with creative talent, advertising gurus, everybody can converge and have a time of their life, create disruption, and we support the younger generation. So a young budding artist or a young musician can come play for free. People come in, witness all of this. So oodles of passion flowing across. So Della Creative Lifestyle Weekend is what we are busy giving the finishing touches to. And so these are some of the things that are happening. I have my plate full completely, but exciting times, and I'm looking forward to. I only hope the third lockdown doesn't happen ever in our lives. Our country and the global population by and large has suffered a lot. I don't think any of us require more suffering, and I wish we just kind of managed to scrape through and not go through it. It would be fantastic. There are some exciting times ahead of us, and I'm quite excited, looking forward to contributing in each of these fraternities where I'm involved professionally and personally.
That's fantastic. In fact, in our last session also, one of the speakers said that, dance, music, something is what they are doing as a social impact, as a social activity, because why take social as something very serious? It has to be fun. It has to add quality to life. And that is what your initiative also talks about. And you're saying creating a platform for leaders. This entire event is all about young leaders, young entrepreneurs, and it's great. Our audience has got to know that now there is a platform to encourage young entrepreneurs. So fantastic. I think some great initiatives from you, Jimmy Mistry. As always, we get to hear something great. And from pin to piano, I think that is something we would love to have. Go one-stop shop to from Mr. Mistry. Thank you so much. I think, we would love to. I have a lot of questions here right in front of me, but because of the scarcity of time and our other panel speakers are already there. Thank you so much, Mr. Mistry, for, bringing out the best out of all our panel members. They were able to share what latest they are doing. You have shared what latest you are doing. And we just hope that our economy continues to go and, as you mentioned, scrape through the third wave as well. If hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it happens. Thank you so much, all our panel members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Moderating it so well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
With us. Thanks, Saurabh Bansal from Magicrete and Saurabh Bansal from Dorset for being here with us. Srinivas, thank you for being here with us, sharing your views.
Sapna.
And
Thanks,
Mr.
Jimmy.
Binay Agrawal, thank you for sharing your time and views. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thanks.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.